Hey, beautiful ladies. How is everybody doing today? How many of you ladies out here that's watching me right now is over 40? You feel like you're stuck in life where you're at right now. You feel like the things that you're doing is no longer serving you. You feel like you're just living like this mundane routine, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And you feel like there's something more for you out here, but maybe you just don't know where to start. You don't know who to ask the questions. You don't know where to begin. You have these limiting beliefs, the BS, which is not the bull. It's actually the belief system that you programmed your mind with. You have these belief system that's keeping you stuck and you don't know how to rewrite that. Well, my friends, you need to stick around because we are going to cover all of that today. So make sure that you grab pen. Make sure that you grab a piece of paper. I am going to give you my 4 top tips on how you can release the life that is no longer serving you at this season of life. But before I hop into that, very quickly, I just want to introduce myself. For those who do not know who I am, welcome. My name is Mia Bolden. I am a certified women's empowerment coach, motivational speaker, retreat leader, and the admin and creator of this amazing group, Travel Adventures for Women Over 40, where everything that we talk about in here has to do with motivation, mindset, manifestation, and travel. Everything that you beautiful ladies need to live this season of your life the way that you desire and deserve. Now, check out that beautiful picture behind me. I wish I could say I was out on the beach doing this training. I am in Aruba right now, getting ready for my first retreat of the year, but this is on the wall. But it is very nice. That is the beautiful baby beach that is out here. We will be visiting that, but if y'all just were wondering, where is that at? Where's that crystal blue waters? That's here in Aruba. If you've never been, you definitely have to visit and maybe join me on one of the retreats to do so, okay? But I just wanted to explain that background because I wish I was at the beach. It was just calling me. I'm sitting here looking at it now. So just to let you know, I'm going to let you know the very importance of releasing the things that's no longer serving you, because believe it or not, that can be actually holding you back from what it is that you desire in your life. That very thing that you are holding on to that you know that is no longer serving you, put that in your back pocket. Could be the thing that is holding you back from getting what it is that you desire right now. So again, I am happy that you are here. When you hop on, say hey, give me some hearts, show me some love. I'm going to give you the personal examples in my life and how releasing has changed me. I have been a women's empowerment coach and retreat leader for 8 years now, and I am going to give you some examples from ladies that I work with and that come on my retreats. I'm going to give you some of the things that they've had to release and to let go, because again, that could be what is holding you back. Now, I'm very excited about talking about this topic because I always say this gives us the opportunity to clean house. You have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Sometimes we say that we feel stuck, we don't know what to do next, because all we do is we get up and we serve everybody else. We work harder for everybody else. We go to work. We know what checklists I need to do. I know exactly what I need to do when I get there. I know what quotas I need to make. I'm worried about the kids, the spouse, the grandkids, my friends, my family. You literally are taking care of everybody else, but you're not working hard on yourself until today, my friends. Again, you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And so I'm going to tell you, it is great that you're watching me. I truly do appreciate it. It's great that you're actually going to write these things down, because I'm telling you, watching me is good, but putting it down on paper will help you retain the information even better. There are scientific studies behind that. But as your empowerment coach, I'm going to tell you, you have to put these things into action, because that is where the magic happens. Now, for so many years in my life, I felt stuck, like many of you. I felt stuck, I felt stagnant, I felt like I was working harder and harder, but I was just not getting anywhere in life. I would watch other people and I'd be like, how in the fudge do they have these happy relationships? How in the fudge are they making all this money? They're going on all these trips. They're doing all of these things. And I am working twice as hard, if not 3 times as hard, at getting the love, at getting the job, at making the money, at doing these things. But I was not getting anywhere. And this is an example that was passed to me, and I pass this on to my coaching clients, and I'm going to pass this on to you. Sometimes we are asking for the love, we are asking for the abundance, we are asking for the trip, we are asking for the new business, I am asking for the happiness, I am asking for all of these things. But I'm holding on to the past hurt, I'm holding on to the past pain, I'm holding on to the limiting beliefs of I'm not good enough, that's not for me, I don't have enough time, I'm holding on to I'm too old to start that, I'm holding on to there's no good men out here because I've been cheated on all my life. I'm holding on to all of these things, and energetically, you don't even have the room for what it is that you're asking for. When I started releasing past hurt and pain, I'm talking about me and the story between me and my mother, I talk about it all the time. For 36, 37 years in my life, we had this estranged relationship because of the story that I repeatedly told to myself. Have you ever told yourself a story over and over and over again that became your truth, and you don't even want to give that other person the opportunity to share their side of the story? I did that. And for 36, 37 years of my life, me and my mother had this off and on relationship until I started releasing the past hurt, the past pain, the past story that I told myself. And now to this day, me and my mother are like this. I kept telling myself the story that there's no good men out here. Everybody's cheaters, because every relationship that I was in my 20s, even in my 30s, even beginning of my 40s, I was cheated on. I was picking toxic relationship after toxic relationship, and I was holding on to that story that there's no good men, I'm not good enough, they're going to pick somebody that looks better than me, that's skinnier than me, that's smaller than me, whatever the case may be, because that's a story I had put in my head, right? I had to work on these things, the limiting beliefs. I had to work on the past hurt, the past pain, and start releasing that. And it wasn't for them, it was for me. When I started doing this, I am now going on a successful, it'll be 2 years in July, relationship that I am in love, and that he's in love with me. But I had to release this past hurt, this past pain. I had to release the past hurt and the past pain against my family member who molested me when I was younger. I had to release that. I held on to that story. I would get on stage, or I would be speaking in front of kids that were telling me their story about sexual abuse, or I would get on stage and I would talk about like my past and the things that I've overcome, and I would start choking up, like literally almost start crying, because I hadn't released the pain and the hurt that little Mia was feeling on the inside of that sexual abuse. I had just pushed it down, never even spoke about it till I was almost 30, and never started working on it until I was about 36. See a pattern here? That's when I was like getting my life together, and I started working on the releasing and things like that. So I had to release that. So now I can stand on stage, I can speak up, I can talk about and be the advocate that I want to be for children and women that are out here that go from sexual abuse and past emotional, physical, and sexual abuse history. I'm advocates for them now, but I couldn't be that if I was holding on to that. So when I started working on myself and seeing the biggest change that shifted with me with releasing, I had to share this with others. So if you don't know this, if you've never been to my retreats, a lot of people see the fun that we have on my retreats, but I have a focus in my retreats, and the focus of my retreats is releasing. And I'm going to share a little bit of this with you. At my retreats, everybody that comes on my retreats, because I interview with everybody that's interested, they know they're coming to work on releasing things that's no longer serving them, because I tell people I teach, I preach, and I coach the things that have personally helped change me. So I literally have brought that into my retreats, that we are releasing the things that's no longer serving. So we do a sister circle at my retreats, and I have bags. If you've been on my retreats, everybody knows what this bag is. These are bags, and I have bags. This is just one bag, but there's all these in here of things that ladies are releasing, that they're holding on to, that they don't have the space, or they don't know. And I'm going to share some of these things with you on how to release these things. I had to learn it. I didn't know how to learn it. I just pushed it down. We're good at that. If you're anything like me, I say when we were taught when we were little, you've heard this thing. You don't share what goes on in this house. You don't tell what happens in this household. So any type of hurt, any type of pain, since we were little, we've learned to hush and push it down. We go to school, hush and push it down. You get a boyfriend, girlfriend, it doesn't work, you hush and push it down. You're at work, it doesn't work, the boss is treating you like whatever. You put your head down, hush and push it down, you get your paycheck. And then before you know it, we are just bottling up all of these things that's no longer serving us, and we don't even know what to do with it. And I always say it's going to come up 9 times out of 10, it comes up the wrong way. Heart disease, anxiety, can't sleep at night, you don't have a good healthy relationship, you don't have a good support system around you because you truly don't trust anybody else, you stay stuck doing your same job, doing the same thing because you don't know how to release these things. I'm here to tell you it's going to come up, but I'm giving you ways on how to release it. And so I pass it down to the ladies at my retreats. That's how the focus of releasing became big at my retreats. So I'm going to read to you just some of the things that ladies, and again, keep in mind, these are things that it was no longer serving them in their life. And I have bags of these. This is just one that I have right now. That's no longer serving them in their life and they didn't know what to do with it. I'm just going to read some of these to you and let me know in the comment section below, could you relate to some of these? So listen to this. These are just, and when we're in the sister circle, we write down some of let go of. We don't put our names on here. We don't say who it is. We're not guessing whose it is, but it's just using the safe space to release the things that's no longer serving us. So here's some of the things that ladies have written down. And again, these ladies are 40 plus holding on to these things. And this could be the thing that's holding them back from what they truly desire. Here's some of the things we hold on to. My brother-in-law kissed me when I was 12 and continued to make sexual advances towards me for the next couple of years. I never said anything to anyone and have blocked it out of my mind like it never happened. I'm ready to let go of all the hurt and pain from relationships. I need to release so I can move forward without looking back. I fell in love with a married man for 5 years and feel like God is punishing me because I've never fallen in love since then. That was 20 years ago and still haven't found true love. Again, we hold on to, don't tell anybody, how are you doing? And then we go around and when people say, how are you doing? We're like, great, everything's fine. But we're really holding on to a lot of this stuff. Here's another one. I want to release the grief and loss of loved ones. Also people who hurt me in the past and have left this world before I can forgive them or we could forgive each other. I suffer from an identity crisis. I am releasing any limitations keeping me from healing my inner child. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. I see you ladies can relate to this. Again, I want to release feeling not being good enough, feeling like I'm holding all the strings in my hand and allowing myself to make others' needs a priority over my own. How many of y'all can relate to that? How many of y'all, you know, that's not serving you here in this life right now? I release the negative thoughts of doing life alone without having a life partner. I choose to set myself free of this burden. I never felt unconditional love from a man. I had an abortion 6 months after giving birth. I feel that it's easier to be single and alone than to open myself up to the possibility of being hurt and rejected. I can go on and on. What I wish for is the most to have a relationship with my daughter. I want her to know how much I love her. I want to feel loved by her. The secret is I still have not let go of an ex that cheated on me and hurt me. I keep to myself because everyone hates him and because I know it makes me look bad as a woman to allow that person in my life. So again, we hold on to these things and for some reason it's because we don't even know how to handle it, how to deal with it, where to go to for it. We don't feel safe addressing these issues. And I'm telling you, I did this for so many years of my life. When I started releasing the past story that I was saying to myself over and over and over again in the belief about my mother, me and my mother have definitely healed our relationship and we're like this. I let that go. Me and my mother are close now. When I started releasing the past hurt and the past pain of me making mistakes in my life and how I failed and how I didn't work out, instead of me just shutting things down, I go to opportunities now because I've learned from that and it just doesn't put me in that bubble. When I released all the, the pain about doing that, that's how I have my business right now. If I would have held onto the past hurt and the past pain and the past mistakes that I did in my businesses that I've had, I wouldn't be here right now running a successful multi-six-figure women's empowerment company, being able to coach one-on-one, speak in front of thousands of ladies, travel the world and host these women empowerment retreats. If I would have let the limiting belief of that hold me back, then nobody's going to listen to me. I didn't graduate high school. I didn't graduate college. I didn't get my GED until I was 25 years old. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So how many of you are holding on to these things that's no longer serving you? Again, I know the feeling and I see the importance. I know the importance of letting it go because I specifically led this life myself. So With all that being said, grab pen. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Grab pen, grab piece of paper. Let's get into this. So I can give you 4 ways that you're going to release these things that are no longer serving you here in this life. Once again, write this down. You have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. The same energy that you were putting into everybody else, you're going to have to start today and commit and start doing it for yourself. And what is sad, this is just facts. 80% of you watching right now will watch this video and possibly get all motivated and be like, yeah, I need to do that. And 80% of y'all will just go back to doing the things that you normally know how to do, or you normally you've been doing. So again, you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. You have to put these things that I'm going to give you here into action. Okay, so make sure that you do that. How do you know that it's time for you to release these things that's no longer serving you? Write this down. How do I know that it's time for me to release these things that's no longer serving me? Very simply put, you feel it. You know it. The job is stressing you out. You can't sleep at night. It stays on your head. You know this relationship's no longer serving you. You know the community, the people you're hanging around with is always being negative Nancy's, and you know that's not serving you right now. You feel these things and you know it. But what happens is we let the conscious kick in. We have this lovely thing called the conscious kick in, and we say, maybe they'll change. Maybe the job will get better. What if it doesn't work out? What if I move and it doesn't work out? What if I date again? All the what ifs and I shoulds, and that is why we stay stuck. My thing is, there's this thing called the law of reciprocity. Look it up. I don't make these things up. The law of reciprocity. Everything in life is energy. Everything is an energy exchange. It's an energetic exchange. If you feel like you are giving, that I'm not getting anything from this, I'm not getting anything, whether it's the job, the person, the clutter that's around your house, the limiting beliefs that's in your head, if you think that you're just giving, and all of this is just negative that you're getting back, or you're getting nothing back from that, it is time for you to release and let it go. The law of reciprocity has been messed with, and you are not getting anything back from that, and you feel it, and you have to start trusting yourself. That is one of the biggest things that I work with my coaching clients on. They go back and forth, bobbing and weaving. How do I know if it's the right time? Should I let this person go? Should I go on the trip? Should I make the move? Should I do the things? And you feel it. In my book on Amazon, shameless plug, How to Discover Your Life's Purpose After 30, What the Fudge Am I Here For? I literally talk about it, and I say we are the only species that goes against our only human instinct, natural instinct. We're the only one. I didn't mean to say human instinct, natural instinct. The lion feels like something's in danger over there. They shouldn't mess with it. They don't do it. Feel like something's over here is a little sketchy. They move away. We're the ones that's like, maybe it'll change. Let me tip back into it. Let me try it again. Let me hold right here, even though you know you feel it. Again, when the opportunity presents itself, when the thing is on your heart, when it is saying this is time to let it go, you have to trust yourself and what is going on the inside. So that is the first thing. That is not even a part of the 4 steps that I'm giving you. But how do you know that it's time for you to release the things and let it go? It's because you feel it, and you have to start trusting yourself and the decisions that you are making and act according to that. The more you start making those decisions like that and you see the good outcomes, the more you'll start trusting yourself and the decisions that you make. So I want you to know that. Everything in life is for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And sometimes the reason is to teach you how to release and let go, but you're still holding on to the thing, the person, the jobs, the limiting belief, whatever the case may be, and you're not learning the lesson you're supposed to learn. Write that down. Reason, a season, or a lifetime. Which one is it for you? And again, that could be for your environment, the people you're hanging around, the physical things that you have in your life, relationships that you have, the job that you have. Again, reason, season, or a lifetime. Which one is that for you? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and hop into tip number 1, how to release the things that's no longer serving me in this season of my life. Tip number 1 is you have to recognize it and write it down. Don't roll your eyes. Don't scroll through this. Don't just watch this and not actually do the thing. Like, we leave stuff in here and we're like, oh yeah, I know I need to clean that clutter up, or I know I need to let this person go. I know, like, it's in here, But I always say it's not real and if it's not written. Write it down. And I want you to break this into 3 categories. Get a piece of paper, write down in the paper, make 3 categories. Physical clutter. You're going to write down your limiting beliefs, the BS, that belief system, what do we need to clean up there? And then the next one is your relationships, the energy drainers. And I want you to take time to do this. Again, you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And don't feel like you got to sit down and do all 4 of these at the same time. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to. But take it one step at a time. Set your timer tomorrow morning for 4 minutes and 44 seconds. I'm very big on the 4-4-4. And just write this down, those 3 categories. And for the next 3 days, handle each category. Sit down. Excuse me. And write down, what physical clutter do I need to release and let go of? The next day, what limiting beliefs do I need to release and let go of? And then the next day, what relationships or energy drainers do I need to release and let go of? Put it down on paper. Again, you have to work on yourself. Don't just keep it in here. Write it down. That is the first step. You got to recognize it. The second thing that I have down here on my notes is I want you to ask yourself, this is a 2-part question that I'm going to give it here, is why are you holding on to the things in your 3 list? Again, it's going to take you a little second to do this, but you got to work hard on yourself. Why are you holding on to it? I'm holding on to it because I feel guilty. I'm holding on to it because I haven't made the run to the Goodwill to drop this clutter off. I'm holding on to it because I haven't had that conversation that I know I need to have. I'm holding on to it because I don't know what to do with this. I'm holding on to it, whatever the case may be. Put it down. Because you put it down, you put, I need to run to the Goodwill. That'll start making things in motion. You'll start doing the things you know you need to stop doing. When you put it down on paper, because I don't know how to release it and let it go, you might start looking something up. You might watch one of my courses, programs. You might sit here and buy somebody else's course, read a book, look it up on YouTube. How do I release blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But put it down on paper. I'm holding on to it because I do feel guilty. Why do I feel guilty? And you sit there and you look at it and you're like, every time I do show up for this person for their shift, because maybe that's what you feel guilty about, because you're the one who always shows up for the shifts for everybody else at work. You're holding on to that because you feel guilty, but then you realize nobody picked up the shift for you and you needed the shift off or whatever the case may be. When you really start putting these things down on paper, you start making sense. And I always say clarity breeds confidence. Then the second part to that is you're going to ask yourself, what is it costing you to hold on to this thing that you know you need to release and let go of? It's costing me the free time with my kids or my grandkids because I'm always picking up extra shifts at work or picking up things to do for my friends instead of spending the time with my kids or my grandkids. It's costing me the relationship with a good friend of mine because I'm holding on to this anger instead of having the conversation. It's costing me mental anxiety because my house is so cluttered the fudge up. That's what it's costing me, because I got this anxiety because every time I come home, I feel like I'm coming home and everything, like the walls are caving down on me. So maybe that'll snap you into action. It's causing me to not have the love in my life come in because I'm holding on to all the past hurt and the pain, and I go into a relationship looking for red flags, looking for something wrong. It's costing me that. So sometimes when you ask yourself those questions, it literally snaps you out of, that's why I'm not getting what it is that I'm desiring, because I'm holding on to whatever it is that you put on this list for yourself. You see how all of this is working together, my friends? Once again, that very thing that you could be asking for, you're not getting, because it could be you're holding on to something on this list that we just made here for yourself. But when you ask yourself your question, that light bulb will go off and you'll be like, shut the front door, there it is. The third thing that I have down here for you beautiful ladies on how to release the life that is no longer serving me is you have to start small. I am very big on that. So with this list, we've sat here, I got 3 different things of what I need to release and let go of. Again, do not tackle all of them at the same time because you will shut down before you even get started. It's about small, consistent action. Again, I know you might have heard this, but are you doing it? I'm telling you, it has changed my mother fudging life. It's not doing all of these things at the same time. It's just doing it little by little. I have people that has watched me or has been on my retreats that have literally been like, Mia, I know that I need to release and let go, but it's just so big. It's so much. And I'm like, how many times have I told you to start small? So if you're like physical clutter, I need to clear out this house and take the stuff I'm not using to Goodwill. So much stuff around here. Instead of looking at the whole house, start small in one room. Start small with just your dresser or your desk. If you feel like I have all of this clutter in my head of, is this the right decision? Or all these limiting beliefs, if I'm too old, it won't work, that costs too much money, I don't have enough time, what if nobody likes me, what if I don't fall in love again, what if the marriage doesn't work, all of these things. Start small. Start saying 2 positive things about yourself every day. I understand you're not going to be able to change that overnight, but I'm here to tell you now, and I don't want to stray off of this conversation. But the things that you're saying to yourself is what you're programming your subconscious mind with. What you program your subconscious mind with becomes your belief. What you believe is what you take action off of, and what you take action off of becomes your reality. And this just popped in my head, so I have got to share it. And again, I'm going to try not to get off the subject here, but it all goes together. I had a lady yesterday who says she's been following my retreats. And again, I've been doing this very blessed for 8 years, planning on not stopping anytime soon. She sends me a message. And this isn't the first time she's reached out to me, which I tell people all the time, I'm open whenever you're ready, I'm ready. And she says, Mia, I really want to go on the Tulum retreat. And I said, okay, great. And I said, yeah, so I can go ahead and send you the information. She said, no, that's okay, because I can't afford it. And I said, well, how much is it? And she said, I don't know. I said, well, how do you know you can't afford it? Literally, that limiting belief right there. Again, what you tell yourself becomes your belief. What you believe, you take action off of. What you take action off of becomes your reality. Literally, because she kept telling herself, I can't afford that. That costs too much. She didn't even start taking the action to even see how much it costs. To see if I could pick up some extra shifts. To see if maybe I can get an extra side gig to afford this trip. To see if maybe I could sell some of the stuff around my house so I could make the money for the trip. Do you see where I'm going here? We literally will shut the stuff down because, again, the BS, the limiting beliefs we tell ourselves. So start small. Start saying 2 positive things about yourself. I serve, I deserve. It is my time. I'm ready for the next step. Money flows to me easily, effortlessly, and often. What God has done for me before, He will do for me and more. All these are things that I say to myself all the time. Because if you don't change this, again, you're going to start blocking your blessing. Whole nother conversation. But again, start small. 2 positive things about yourself every day. And again, with the energy drainers, I'm not saying cut everybody out your life, again, because I will tell you now your family and your friends are going to be the hardest to set those boundaries with, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second. But start small with setting those boundaries. Maybe not showing up to every brunch because you know Negative Nancy and Debbie Downer over there is just going to be talking about how all politics and how there's not enough money and all the bad dating, whatever. Don't go to every brunch. Maybe just go to 1 or 2 brunches a year, whatever the case may be. Don't go to every family function. Maybe you have to start limiting those as well. But again, start small. It doesn't mean just cut everybody out of your life, you know, because some people say, me, I can't do that. Well, again, just start small. And I'm here to tell you, the more you start backing away from those energy drainers, the people that's no longer serving you, the easier it will be. And the more you'll be able to recognize the people that are no longer serving you at this season of life. Okay. This next thing that I have down here, and this is the last thing that I have for you beautiful ladies, in how to release the life that is no longer serving you, is to change your environment. And this is huge, my friends. Huge. You can't change your life if you continuously hang around Negative Nancy, Debbie Downers, the ones who want to tell you that'll never work. That costs too much. That's just for those type of people. We'll never get enough hours. Want to remind you about all the politics. Want to remind you about all of the things that's going to go wrong. Want to remind you of all of this stuff. If you hang around those type of people, you will become that type of person as well. And you will be thinking that that is the norm. When I changed my income, when I changed my job, when I changed the way that I thought, I had to hang around those type of people. I had to join masterminds. I had to start conversating, networking, going to retreats myself, going to conferences myself. I had to be around those type of people that believed in me, that poured life into me, that showed me what was possible, that helped me to get to where it was that I am today, because I had to release those people that was no longer serving me. And your environment is a huge thing, my friends. So what I want you to start doing, again, is doing what you're doing now. I would say that I'm a positive person. Start watching motivational speakers, people that pour life into you, people that can pour into you. Start reading books on that. Start going to get around those people, whether it's going to the conferences, going to the networking events, going to those specific type of retreats. Get into those type of rooms. That will help you release that life that's no longer serving you, because once you get around people that are doing better, speaking better, that are pouring life, that are speaking positive, that are showing you what is possible, that is going to rub off on you. Energy is transferable, my friends, even good energy. You got to get around those people, because again, you will see what is possible for your life. Okay? So those are the 4 biggest things that I have given you. And I'm going to give you a little bonus. Just a little bonus you can put into your back pocket on how to release the life that's no longer serving you is to start trying new things again. Write that down and start doing it. You feel stuck, you feel stagnant, you're still living in this life that's no longer serving you because when's the last time you tried something new? Sign up for the paint class, try the belly dancing class, go for the vertical pole fitness class. Yes, I said it. For those who don't know, I used to own a women's vertical pole fitness studio. Maybe try this, take Spanish, go on the different trip, try out the hiking group. I don't know, go volunteer somewhere new, but try something different. That will help you release that life that's no longer serving you, because you'll start finding new hobbies, new things, new skills that you have, and you will start gravitating more towards that instead of this mundane life, this living over and over and over again, telling yourself the same story. I'm going to do it one day. One day I'll take the trip. One day I'll start the business. One day I'll go to the networking event. One day I'll go and volunteer. All this one day. And once again, tomorrow is not promised to any of us, my friends. So if it popped up in your head, if you feel it on your heart, it was meant for you. It is time for you to take inspired action and to release this life that is no longer serving you. And I just gave you 4 ways plus a bonus on how to do so. I told you how I have personally done it. I have told you how I have helped other ladies at my retreats do the same things. So I'm here to tell you, my friends, that is exactly how you do it for yourself. That's all I got for you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love, beautiful ladies. I truly do appreciate it. And if you feel like I'm wanting more, and you have not checked out my new bundle, it's the Unbound and Unstoppable bundle. It has 4 of my best online courses, and right now it's $44. Y'all know I'm big on the 444. It's 4 courses for $44. You better get it now, my friends, because I don't know how long I'm going to keep it like this. Comment the word ready down below. I will be glad to send you the info for that. Okay? That's all I got for you, beautiful ladies. I hope y'all are having a great day today, and I'm going to leave you the way that I always do. If you're at a point right now where you are not quite believing in yourself, no worries, girlfriends. You know that I believe in you. And sometimes you have to believe in the belief that others have in you before your own belief kicks in, because I know it will. Now it's time to release those things that's no longer serving you at this season of life. And I'll see you ladies on the next training video. Have a great day. Peace.